official podcast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 4 of the River Methods official podcast. Here we go. It's getting juicy now. Episode 4, what a landmark. Looking back, way back, 2 weeks ago, episode 1, I really didn't think we'd make it to this point. I didn't think we could make it past that point. I didn't think we'd make it to that point, in fact. But here we are. I am your, one of your co-hosts, or the host, or the Holy Ghost, or whatever you want to call me. I'm Joey Bradbury. And I'm not alone. It's buy one, get one free. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rowan Martin.
Good afternoon, Twitter world.
Hey, Twitter world.
Hey, Twitter world.
That's a new little thing that's come up in the last couple of weeks. O.J. Simpson is on Twitter, which is, I think, something that we've all been waiting for.
You be waiting for Thor?
Yeah, waiting for Thor. Do you know why I do that? Sometimes when I say F words, I say it with a TH. Because my whole life I pronounced TH words with an F, and then a couple of years ago I took it upon myself to make an effort and start pronouncing them properly, and I got so good at it that I started pronouncing TH words. Wait, what? Pronouncing F words with a TH.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Nice.
So now I've got to rebalance it somehow.
There's actually a term for that.
Is it?
Well, I'm very interested in, as you know, linguistics, language, things like that. It's called hypercorrection. So, in the old days when people had, very strong regional accents and they tried to get rid of them, they used to put H's where they weren't even sounded. So people used to say honest and things like that.
What?
It was a way of getting away from your roots. Actually became a giveaway of your roots.
Gotcha.
Which is an interesting topic. Maybe we're getting too deep too quick.
No. I'm very interested by that, to be honest. Because it makes a lot of sense. It's like, to be honest, when you said that term, hypercorrection, it's like when you read, for me, the feeling I got is like when you read your star sign and you think, wow, that's really me. Because if there's two things that I am, it's hyper and it's correct.
Wow. It's spot on.
Yeah.
It's your life story in a word.
It really is.
Hyper and correct.
Hyper and correct.
Are you saying that you're always correct? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
What does correct mean to you?
To be honest, correct's become a little bit of a slang. Well, not a slang term, but it's definitely been used more nowadays, I feel. Just like come correct and stuff like that. Those sorts of phrases.
Yeah. And
I think it's like almost a state of mind in a way. Where it's an umbrella term, I guess. It's sort of looking well turned out.
Oh,
I guess,
yeah.
And sort of coming in the right frame of mind, I suppose.
It makes me think of a really good early Louis Theroux, where he goes to meet some self-help guys.
Oh, yeah.
And there's this guy, and Louis says something to him, and he doesn't say no problem. Like, he's an American guy. You'd expect him to say no problem. He goes, no challenge.
Nice.
And instead of saying yes, he says correct.
I like that.
And it's almost like a mantra. He's making himself feel happier by doing it. It's a sort of self-medication with words almost.
I like that. And I like just the just using different words, because the thing is, there's loads of words, and it's a shame just to just say yes when you could. There's a whole plethora of other words to use.
Nice word there.
Yeah, exactly.
Affirmative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Roger's
a great one.
It is.
Underused.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quite SAS.
Yeah.
Roger that.
I think once again, maybe an album 2 vibe is that. Well, we spoke about this a couple of podcasts ago about joining the TA or the. The Army Reserves, as they're now known.
The TASAS.
The TASAS.
Bear Grylls, is it not?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that should be our new vibe, really.
Yeah.
As I said before, proudly giving back to our country. After our country has given so much to us, but also just learning great life skills that we're probably severely lacking, being snowflakes.
Yeah.
Being millennial snowflakes like we are.
Yeah.
I want to wake up at dawn and like go and kill people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
12-click yomp.
Yeah.
With a £180 kit bag.
Yeah.
That would sort you out.
I think if you can get through one of those,
you
can probably get through anything in life.
Yeah. You can get through a 30-minute set at the Mars Bar in Worcester.
Yeah.
After that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to toughen you up.
Yeah. That is that's probably the musical equivalent of a 12-click yomp.
Yeah. 2 people there.
Yeah. That was a good gig, that one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
No, it was good. It was great.
It was good.
Yeah.
The best part of that was the when we on our way home, we had to get the sort of last train home, and we went to get some fried chicken from this shop next to the station, and there was a sort of weird setup in there where you had there's 2 guys in there, and I guess they were your sort of the sort of guys that would you'd expect to be working in there. I don't know where they were from. They might have been I don't know, North African somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhat in that region. But then there was this young lady, couldn't have been older than about 19, and she was just sort of standing there on her phone. And one of the guys asked her to like do something, and she really didn't take too kindly to that. I seem to remember.
Yeah.
And it turned out that she was a sort of just like posh, like English girl.
Yeah.
Who was I don't know. She had a sort of high street Kim Kardashian vibe going on, kind of thing. And it felt like I don't know. In my head, I was thinking, well, how did she find herself in that situation? Like, you wouldn't expect a young lady like herself working in a fried chicken shop.
Yeah.
And I was thinking perhaps, like, I don't know, maybe she'd been cut off by daddy.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or, like, you need to get a job now, sweetie.
Yeah. It's
That
quite
kind of
similar to in The Sopranos when AJ has to go and work in the pizza shop. They think, we spent years and years spoiling them.
Yeah.
Actually, what they need to do is go out and work.
Yeah.
And understand the value of things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It was bizarre. I've never seen that before or since. It was very weird.
No, it was very strange.
Yeah.
In fact, in the barber shop I used to work in, right, the landlord, he had flats above it, right, and his daughter was living in there. And obviously rent-free. She didn't have a job. She didn't need to have a job. Like, her dad's, they've got something like 70 properties in London.
Right.
Which is just absurd if you think about it, when most people can't even have one.
Yeah.
But she had to move out of those flats, and the time was coming up to do that, and because they were refurbishing them, and apparently she was just refusing to, and she was saying, he said to one of my colleagues that she was refusing to get a job, and he was getting upset at her, angry at her and stuff. But the thing is, it's just like, I don't think he had any right to get angry at her, because he's the one, as her father, is the one who's chosen to fund her life up until that point in the first place. So I don't think you can just sort of pull the rug from underneath her and expect her to just be okay with it,
I blame the parents.
Yeah, exactly. Who else but can you blame?
Yeah, it's true. No one decides to be like that, do they? So everyone gets their portion of the blame, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's really freeform this week, I must say.
Yeah,
we've really outdone ourselves.
I think this
so
this is actually this is a podcast from our future where it's this is the Single Dads podcast.
Okay. How's that?
It was sort of it's sort of like a when you and I are both single dads, inevitably.
Speak for yourself.
It's almost like a sort of mum's net podcast, but for it's dad's net.
Dad's net.
Dad's net.
Yeah.
Dad's pod. Dad's pod.
Yeah.
Dad pod. Dad pod.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. You can have that if you're listening.
Yeah.
Any dads out there that want to start a dad podcast?
Where do you stand on the concept of the dad joke?
The dad joke. It's one of those things. It's so vague, isn't it? It's
what does it mean?
Well, it's much like, I don't know, like the term old man pub.
Yes.
It's
builder's tea.
Yeah, and builder's tea. It's I don't know. It's everyone wants to put something in a box, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose, I mean, a dad like what you'd assume it means is like just like a bad joke, like a punchline, well, like a standard setup and punchline type joke as well.
Yeah. It really depends whose dad you're talking to.
Exactly.
Your dad's a very funny man.
My dad's really funny. Yeah.
If your dad's telling a joke, I'm probably going to laugh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's quite. You can't paint all dads with the same brush.
Yeah. Your dad told a great story when I was at your house the other day.
Oh, is
just
that?
before Bush Hall, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
About your dad's obviously a big Celtic fan, Glasgow man, and he was talking about the big kerfuffle that Rangers had recently with their kit. I don't think he ever misses an opportunity to stick the boot in on the other side of Glasgow.
Well, yeah, I mean that's sort of one of the whole points of supporting either side, really.
Yeah. You got to revel in the misery.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was to do with a deal. Was it with Hummels?
Oh yeah. Hummel will make their kit. Yeah.
Hummel make the Rangers kit.
Yeah.
And there was some sort of exclusive deal, and they were bringing out the new kit. But there was some sort of problem with the rights, and basically the Rangers players had to end up doing a photo shoot with their new kit wearing snides. And which is embarrassing.
A little
really.
bit.
Yeah. It's not what you want, is it?
Yeah, it's very sort of Phoenix Nights or something. It's like I'd love to. They should make a sitcom out of running Rangers FC, or just running a football team. That could be a good idea for a sitcom.
There used to be Dream Team on there.
Yeah. That was a drama. That was a soap opera, really, wasn't it? It was more like a sort of Hollyoaks of football. And I suppose Rent for the Redregs was a sort of teen sitcom.
Yeah.
On Nickelodeon, which I loved. That was a great show. But we could you and I, with our links to the BBC, we could easily get a sitcom commissioned, I reckon.
What links are those?
Hang on a minute.
Who do we know at the BBC?
I was going to say Moira Stewart, but she hasn't been there in years, has she?
I don't think Moira Stewart's going to do it for us.
Nah.
I don't think she's the name anymore.
Nah. Chris Evans isn't there anymore either.
Yeah.
So our two people that we know aren't even there.
Yeah.
Clarkson as well.
No in at the BBC.
Yeah. No, we don't actually know anyone at the BBC. We've met Phil Taggart a couple of times, but that's BBC Radio.
Yeah, it's different.
We don't know anyone in the television department.
Radio and TV, never the twain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, actually, at Glastonbury, you do see the radio guys on TV.
That's very true, actually. That's a beautiful moment for radio, actually.
Yeah. You find out, I used to remember that as a kid.
Vindication.
You see these people, you've heard their voices, and you see what they look like.
Yeah.
And generally, why they're not on TV.
Yeah. You were away for Glastonbury, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
I don't suppose you've caught up with any of the...
Well, I actually watched the Alex from Glastonbury clip today.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to hear my takeaway on it?
Please do.
What do I think about it? Well, he's rocking that kind of look, which was quite 2 years ago now, or maybe a bit longer.
Yeah, I think...
Bucket hat and PSG shirt.
Yeah, but I don't think it's moved. I don't think that anything has replaced it, though, so I think it's
Yeah. I mean, it's a great look.
Yeah, to
sort
an extent, yeah.
But it's weird that... Well, who's he? Where's he from?
Who's Alex?
Yeah.
I think Somerset, I think.
Is he? Right, okay. I mean, it's kind of... It really sums up where we're at in Britain now.
Yeah.
You know, he's clearly not from the culture where that originated.
Yeah.
He's doing it, and actually that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even, you know, and Dave is the gatekeeper, and he's more up for it than anyone.
Of course, yeah. I don't think that, that aspect of it would be. I'm sure some people on Twitter have taken that stance on it. Taken issue with that somehow. But my first of all, my main issue with it is the way he's holding the microphone.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Here comes the pro.
Well, but even not as a pro, it's whenever you pick up a microphone for the first time. Sorry. From obviously, your only point of reference for the most part would be other artists or whatever. Yeah. So your instincts is to hold the microphone right at the top where the big ball is, and hold it like a rapper. But he ended up holding it sort of like Lionel Richie.
Way out.
Yeah, like right down the bottom, and then sort of on his almost where his chest is.
Yeah.
It was quite strange, and I don't want to. He's 15 years old or whatever. I don't want to give the kid too much of a kicking, but the way he was moving as well was pretty cringe. It's got to be said.
Yeah.
But I mean, fair play to him. He's got up in front of tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
But
it's quite funny to see someone that nervous on TV.
Yeah.
You
But you can see the adrenaline. He does get into it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But it does. I said this in response to someone on Twitter yesterday. Literally at a Glastonbury where Stormzy has given one of the best headline performances in years. Like a defining kind of performance. It does feel like a big shame and a bit strange, but also not that strange at all that the thing that people are talking about is a little white kid. It does, don't know, sums it up really, doesn't it? Just sums up the country generally, I guess.
But it's just the sort of strange sort of meme culture we live in now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's people love to talk about this sort of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, people prefer banter to art.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, and I mean, I do as well.
Yeah. Had enough of art, haven't we? Really?
Yeah,
banter.
There's definitely too much art.
That's basically why we've started this podcast, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's banter as opposed to art.
Exactly. Well, we're diversifying the product.
Yeah.
Much like. We're cutting the product with different stuff now.
Yeah.
You know,
a bit of talcum powders going in there.
Exactly.
Ground up M&Ms, whatever else they put in it.
Yeah, you don't know what's in it these days.
Interesting fact. Be reading my book over there.
Oh yeah.
About the Naples Mafia.
Oh yeah.
And they're very, very religious.
Of course.
That's very religious country and a very religious part of a very religious country, and they cut their bags of hash into 33 bags because Jesus was 33 years old. Nice
touch.
It's interesting sort of squaring of circles in their faith with their criminality.
Well, I'm sure Jesus would appreciate that. Jesus would have been on the old peace pipe, wouldn't he? In the sort of on the old hashish.
Absolutely, you'd be a CBD guy.
Yeah, now he'd be a CBD guy for sure. Yeah.
Jesus on Joe Rogan. If only.
Oh yeah. Oh well, on the subject of Joe Rogan, got a little bit of I don't know how to put it.
You're going to send for someone?
Yeah, I'm going to call someone out.
This is like one of those King of the Gypsies videos.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, so basically, our two good friends, Mr. Joe Bishop, or Joe Bish, as he is professionally known, and our other friend Tishin Balor, they have their own podcast called The Shit Show, which is a great podcast. I'm a big fan of it personally. Obviously, quite strange to just listen to two of your mates talk, but their chemistry is fantastic. They're literally probably the two funniest blokes I know.
It's actually recorded on these microphones.
Indeed, yeah, we use the same setup. We've basically turned your gaff into a podcast studio.
Yeah,
and a
factory.
There's a lot of great stuff is created here. A lot of great content. But unfortunately, so I said on my way here today, I decided to, do you know what? I'm going to give them a listen. I'm going to give the new episode a listen, this week's episode. So I was just kicking back, laughing my head off as ever. It is great stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do check it out. The Shit Show. They're on SoundCloud. It is very good. But in this week's episode, they're doing some sort of taking some fan questions, I suppose, listener questions. And there's this one question. I don't know what the question was, but essentially Joe Rogan comes up in it, and then they go off on one about Joe Rogan, and basically they say my name. They put my name. They put my name in their mouths, right? Without any care in the world of what the repercussions would be.
Yeah.
And they talk about how I basically have I suppose, a reputation amongst our friends of basically having the great talent of bringing up Joe Rogan in any conversation. And to be honest,
tell me the lie.
In fairness, total truth. And the reason being is because for the last couple of years, sort of, I don't know, I've listened to a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts, to be honest, and I've learnt a lot of stuff. I've forgotten a lot of stuff. You know, it's done a lot of things, but essentially they get to the sort of crux of what they're talking about. I'm having a little bit of water, I'm a little croaky.
You're getting quite croaky there.
I think it's sort of a delayed reaction after Thursday.
Yeah.
With all the singing. But basically, yeah, so they're talking about Mr. Rogan's, the way he's perceived, the way he is. Obviously, he's regarded as like I guess giving a lot of dodgy people a platform, which unfortunately is true. He does, but he basically, in my opinion, he gives. Well, you can actually just look at the list of people he gives a platform to. He gives a lot of people from a lot of corners a platform, to be frank. I would say that the balance does definitely veer on the side, the right wing side, unfortunately. But personally, I don't never really watch those ones, because if there's one thing I really hate about the internet, it's two white blokes talking about trans rights. Like, it just does my head in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what do you think about trans rights?
It's just upset. It's just like, why do they care so much? That's my sort of opinion on it. Like, why does it upset you so much? If you're so I don't know, wanna be perceived as not being a bigot, like, then why? If you're not a bigot, then why do you care so much?
Yeah.
You know,
well, it's like if you don't like gay marriage, don't have one. It's that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's just a lot of people. They might call it golden age thinking or something like that. It's that sort of. It wasn't like it was in my day.
Yeah.
And that's going to literally happen to every person on planet Earth.
Well, of course. Just have a vague knowledge of history. History, like, from the dawn of time. Attitudes and politics and everything, it's all moved a certain way. It's been moving in the same direction forever.
Yeah.
It hasn't ever really gone the other way, has it? Like, people have tried to make it go the other way, but they've failed, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I personally can give a rat's ass about basically any of the political podcasts that Joe Rogan does. I'm more into the sort of, I don't know, sometimes stand-ups he has on, entertainers, and fighters. So, and to be honest, I don't listen to an awful lot of them at the moment. I'm more into, I don't know, other podcasts, to be frank. But anyway, that's besides the point. The issue that I have is that our good friends, Joe and Tushin, when talking about Joe Rogan they basically said it's for people who hate feminism and for people who like violence. Now, I must say, I do like violence. I like combat sports, but I certainly do not hate feminism.
It's a half-truth.
It's a half-truth.
Yeah.
So, basically, I'm not happy about the way that my name is being dragged through the mud here.
You've been introduced.
my character has been, I wouldn't say it's been assassinated.
Yeah.
But it's certainly had it's been wedgied. An atomic wedgie.
Something wedgie on your character.
Yeah.
Call the lawyers.
They've ripped my pants clean off via my bum crack.
You've got no pants on anymore.
I don't.
No.
They've done me.
Yeah.
So, on that, what better way to settle this than with some violence?
Yeah, yeah.
So
and some feminism.
And some feminism, yeah. So, brilliant idea. So what I suggest is that we're actually, amongst us as friends, we've been discussing this for a while, the possibility of holding a sort of charity boxing event. So I think it's time that it actually happened. So I think that I would like to take this moment to call out the big fat bastard, Joe Bish.
Wow. You've officially called him out.
I have. Me and him, one-on-one.
Yeah. Queensbury rules?
Absolutely. Straight up. And what we'll do, we'll find a charity, a women's charity.
Right.
Of some sorts. We'll find one.
Yeah.
An appropriate one. And we'll get an audience. We'll make a night of it. It'll be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll beat the fuck out of him.
Eddie Hearn's going to promote?
Eddie Hearn is not going to promote.
No, he's not, is he? He's not. He's not going to touch this with a barge pole.
No. Well, I wouldn't touch him with a barge pole.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, he's a crook.
Yeah.
But, yeah, in the name of clearing my name and being a decent human being, I'm going to beat up Joe Bish.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's it settled. I await his response.
Joe Bish, there you go. If you're listening, Joe, we're eager to hear back from you. And, yeah, game on, I guess.
Yeah, the ball is in your court, Joe. You're going to regret ever not putting respect on my name. Right. Moving on.
Where do we go from there?
The only way is up, my friend.
Yep.
So the other day, as you can hear, my voice, a little bit croaky.
You sound like when they disguise someone's voice on Channel 4 News.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about something really bad that's happened.
Yeah.
You were a victim of some kind, and they disguised your voice. They brought it down a couple of octaves on the old effects panel.
Yeah, and they blacked me out.
Yeah.
And they've given me a different name.
Yeah.
So why even... just get an actor to do it, or something. Or maybe, I don't know. Or just... I suppose that probably is the best way to do it. Yeah, that's why they've got those jobs.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, well, I'm trying to be clever. And I show myself up instantly.
Hasn't worked, does it?
Yeah.
Doesn't always work.
Yeah. Oh, well. Well, so anyway, yeah, the reason my voice is like this is because 2 nights ago, although it'll probably be 3 nights ago by the time you'll listen to this, we performed at our album launch party at London's Bush Hall.
We certainly did.
And it was, I don't know, it felt like a moment.
It did.
It was really quite special, to be honest. It was, I don't know, it was great.
Yeah, it was definitely the best gig we've ever done. And it was a kind of new level for us. There were old faces, new faces, and it was the first time that I felt we could be one of those bands that maybe could play at a festival and sort of, command a real sort of stage like that. We had the Horny Men with us.
Yep.
Brass, lovely brass section.
Freddie and Max.
Shouts and Zoe joined us for
She did.
Cruel and Party Politics, and it really felt like the kind of travelling mad menagerie that we always wanted to create, really.
But I thought you were about to say it felt like the Travelling Wilburys. And it did.
We should have covered Handle with Care.
Yeah. Handle me with care.
What a track.
What a band.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Who are we in the Wilburys?
You're...
Jeff
Lynne. Yeah.
Obviously, Jeff. We said that at the same time.
Yeah.
Jeff Lynne.
And I'm... Orbison.
Yeah. I'd say. With a little bit of Dylan.
And a little bit of Springsteen.
Is he in the band?
Oh, wait, no, he's not. No, I'm thinking.
Say.
No, yeah. So I was thinking about the Roy Orbison special when he's got Tom Waits and Springsteen and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm Petty then. Petty Dylan.
Yeah.
Petit Dylan.
Le Petit Dylan.
Le Petit Dylan.
That sounds like a venue that we might play in Paris.
Yeah.
It's just a silhouette of Bob's face on the pub sign.
Yeah. But it really small.
Yeah.
Le Petit Dylan.
But you know it's him. Le Petit Dylan. See you there.
This November at Le Petit Dylan.
November. See you there. There's a great documentary about Jeff Lynne on BBC 4 that I watched once, and it's everyone's in it. You know, Jeff Lynne, he's the man. He's
got a lot of mates.
He's got a lot of mates. Very popular. And there's an interview with Ringo Starr, and he goes, "Jeff tried to make me play to a click," and he goes, "I am the fucking click."
Fucking hell.
I am the click.
I am the click.
No one's the click. The click is the click.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that Ringo has that sort of confidence.
Yeah. Completely unfounded.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
He's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Yeah.
He probably was.
Who is your favourite Beatles? Where do you stand? I've never asked you about the Beatles. Where
the
do you
Beatles?
stand?
Yeah. Well, I'm not from a Beatles family, first and foremost.
You're a Stones family.
It's a Stones family.
Yeah.
But laterally, I got into the Beatles a little bit. More so the I don't know, where they got a bit freaky.
Right.
I suppose. Well, a bit more, I don't know, they went legit, I suppose, in a way, didn't they? So, got away from being the boy band kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of favourite Beatle, it'd be it's George. It's for me. It's I actually I prefer his solo music to any other Beatle.
Yeah. He's sort of a gateway Beatle, because if you don't really like the Beatles, you're probably going to like George.
George is your man,
He's the least Beatle.
Absolutely.
The most Beatle is Paul.
Yeah.
And then I'd say probably John, Ringo.
Of course,
George.
Yeah. Well, George is also my dad's favourite Beatle, and my dad's not a massive Beatles fan at all. As I said, Stones fan. But he always loved George because George gave up being an apprentice electrician to become a Beatle.
Yeah.
Or pursue the Beatles properly. And my dad was an electrician, so that's grounds enough to be one's favourite, I guess.
Doing the same job.
Exactly.
Fair enough. He's one of our own.
Yeah, I guess made my dad feel represented.
Right, okay, yeah. We need more electricians in bands.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a fair few, to be fair.
Yeah. Come in handy, actually, wouldn't it?
It would.
When your pedals break down.
Yeah.
I know how to reroute the AC
and
the DC.
Yeah. Re-earth that pedal.
Yeah.
Re-earth that big muff.
Ooh.
Big muff reference.
Big muff pedal, we should say, for those who don't know. It's not talking about anything else than a big pedal.
No, we're talking about a big old pedal.
It's a big old pedal.
Yeah.
You know my opinions on pedals?
Oh, yeah.
I always bring out the one of my favourite quotes. Pedals. Someone says, "Do you use guitar pedals?" I say, "Pedals are for cyclists." Not my words. The words of Paul Weller.
Yeah. I mean, who else?
Yeah. I'm
surprised.
Sure he uses pedals.
He must. Surely he does.
Yeah. I think all he needs is a good amp.
Yeah. Maybe. Or maybe he's got someone else using his pedals
under the stage.
Yeah, so he doesn't actually have to do the pedaling.
Yeah.
Or the pedalo.
Doesn't seem fair, does it?
Yeah. You should get a guitar pedalo.
What would that do?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, an obnoxious taking the piss out of people who use pedals.
Right.
Do you think that now, because you sort of you've hammered your colours to the mast of not using pedals?
Yeah.
Do you think there'll come a day where you'll want to use pedals and you'll feel too proud to not to use them?
Honestly, that's one of my great fears in life.
Yeah.
Is going to be the day when I, hit a Boss delay pedal, and it sounds great, and I think I can't deny this anymore.
Yeah.
Just let's do this. Where do I sign? I'm worried about that day because I feel like it's probably going to come.
Yeah, most likely.
Because there does seem to be a common point in every guitarist's life where they fall in love with pedals. because they do offer possibilities. But I worry about those possibilities. You know.
Yeah.
I worry about the lack of limitation.
Yeah, we're freaky enough off the stuff.
That's it. Mad enough about the gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We got all the ideas and no gear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to think. Sometimes we've got no ideas.
Yeah.
And no gear.
A lot of the time we have no ideas.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Yeah.
As soon as you do, it's fine. But yeah, Bish on Thursday night. It was, as I say, it felt like a moment. I mean, before that gig, people would obviously they would sing along. Obviously they would know the words of the ones that we'd released, but weirdly they'd know the words to the ones that we hadn't. And I don't know if that's, well, I would like to think that that's because we instantly sing along of all songs. But maybe it's more a comment on the intelligence of our fan base to pick comments on things so fast. But this time, having released the album 2 weeks ago, people actually, literally, if it was every word to every song.
Yeah.
It was a bit overwhelming.
Even the more introspective kind of and more esoteric songs.
Yeah.
People seem to be picking up on them as well. So, you know, that was very nice. It was just a little taste of something very nice, you know, something nice for the future. So, we're going to keep writing these weird esoteric songs, and we want you to keep learning the lyrics. Yeah,
because it certainly makes us feel good, and that's what matters most.
We need it. Yeah. We needed a lot of gratification in this band.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, to be frank, we did, because we did, because we're both people who definitely thrive off being, obviously, well, I mean, it's the same with most people in bands, being accepted and having that attention, and also having that kind of, I don't know, vindication of over what you've produced, I suppose.
This reminds me a little bit of the round table thing you sent me the other day.
Oh yeah.
It's a load of actors sitting around a round table.
It's the Hollywood Reporter, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hollywood Inquirer, one of them.
Don Cheadle, Jim Carrey, Ted Danson,
Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, and some other bloke.
And a geezer out of Veep.
Yeah. I've never seen it.
Not neither have I.
But yeah, they ask, why are you an actor? Which is a great question.
Yeah,
and you just know the answers are going to be great.
Yeah.
To those listening who don't know, this is very, very up our street. One of our favourite things is actors talking about acting.
Yeah.
Because the answers are always hilarious.
Yeah.
Because actors are very strange, sort of manipulative sort of people.
Well, yeah, I mean, they kind of, there has to be a level of well, obviously narcissism and sociopathy and, like, I don't know, name any kind of, I don't know, blip in the mind they probably need to have. Well, exactly. This is the point, yeah.
Yeah, well, Jim Carrey, they asked Jim Carrey, who's one of our heroes, why act? And he says, because I am broken. Which is, I mean, it's amazing and ridiculous.
Yeah. It's almost, I don't think a British person could say that.
No. And if you did, it'd be the end of you.
Yeah. It's far too, I mean, it's completely true, obviously, but it's far too sincere.
Yeah, I mean, it has something of the Jesus complex about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, it's as you say, the kernel of truth in it is actually really amazing, but the language is I mean, it's hilarious.
Yeah. It's and it's just it might be in the edit, to be fair, but the speed at which he answers that.
Yeah,
it's
because I am broken.
Yeah.
But I think it does hit something true, and I think that we are kind of that's why we do it as well. I think we are kind of broken people.
Yeah.
It's like a hairline fracture.
Yeah.
We're not completely fucked, but we are. We're quite fucked.
Yeah. Well, I do think. I sometimes think though, like
more than a hairline. Sorry.
Well, no. the opposite, really, for me. I kind of sometimes think that, like, being broken, so to speak, it's not a special state in a way. It's like, I feel like maybe that's normality, though.
Yeah.
And the people who are sort of content and happy and don't need the sort of gratification of outside influences, they're the weird ones. They're the minority.
I see. Right.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be completely wrong, but
I think that makes sense.
But it's certainly, certainly amongst our peers, it feels that way, and people I've met and know and been surrounded by my whole life. Like,
yeah.
Certainly feels like I know more broken people than fixed people.
Yeah, in many ways, the most squeaky clean, together, correct people.
Yeah.
Are they're the ones you got to watch out for, really.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are sort of doing all sorts of God knows what, the sex dungeons and behind closed doors. And
they're the psychopaths.
Yeah. Got a WhatsApp message. Just gonna turn it off.
That's all right.
It's actually from my dad. And
What's he got to say for himself?
He's gone to see the Who.
Oh yeah.
At Wembley.
Oh my lord.
So it's a picture of the Who at Wembley. Big crowd.
Is your dad a Who fan?
Well, he's got a very interesting relationship with the Who.
Oh yeah. Oh God, not again.
No, I think he is equal parts a massive fan, and he's sort of completely not disgusted. He's fascinated and disgusted by them.
Yeah.
Because there is something quite primal and sort of to a certain man of a certain background, a certain generation.
Yeah.
I think they really do appeal. It's because it's primal. It's kind of maybe an early form. I hate to use this cliche, but an early form of punk.
Oh
yeah. It's loud, sort of angry.
Yeah.
Is it British music?
Teen sound as well.
Yeah, exactly. But I think he's fascinated as well by a bit like we were talking about with the round table, the sort of incredible pompousness of it. Where Pete Townsend, he's being interviewed, he goes, "We were writing a fucking opera." Tommy, all of that stuff. The Quadrophenia soundtrack, which is, has some of the worst music ever recorded on it.
Yeah.
I don't know where I stand on them. I don't think they've got much merit at all. I have to say.
I've never been. I mean, bands of that era, I only really see through this, like the spectrum of my dad's tastes on it.
Yeah.
And they were never a band that my dad liked still, and that's definitely rubbed off on me. And I think even independent of that, I don't really see it at all. It's I put them in the bracket of those bands that are just like, I don't know, the biggest bands of all time that just, for me personally, don't speak to me on any level. Like include Led Zeppelin in that, and
Pink Floyd.
I mean, there's moments there's moments with Sid's Floyd.
Yeah, the Floyd.
Yeah, the OG Floyd.
Yeah.
But even that, it's just a bit university educated sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and then laterally you got Muse.
Yes. Science teaching music.
Yeah. It's to be honest, when you say it's like a proto-punk thing, but it's also very establishment. It obviously wasn't at the time. But it very much is now.
Yeah, it's the Union Jack on the guitar.
Yeah. It's which is a shame to get away from what it's meant to be. Like same with, you could say same with, like, speaking of Union Jack and guitar, but like Brian May playing the national anthem is just like so far removed from Freddie Mercury's Danger,
Yeah. He's in the tent.
Yeah.
You want your rock stars to be outside of the tent.
Exactly. Yeah.
You want Phil Lynott.
Yeah.
Something like that. Someone who genuinely didn't fit in.
Exactly.
Someone who, just had a bit of edge about them.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? But I was going to say the other week here, we're recording in my house, and we had a bloke to fix our boiler.
Oh, yeah.
And I was actually working on some music at the time, and he came round, and he's called Roy the Gas Man.
Roy the Gas Man.
Can we fix? And I was playing the guitar. I was recording some guitar, as you do, and he said, Guitar, is it? I know the Who. And he had recently fitted the boilers of Pete Townshend's brothers, who both live in a house, apparently, together. Which I think Pete might have paid for.
He's not going to buy him each a house. I'll buy a house, but only one house. You got to share it.
Yeah.
What a cunt.
Yeah. Tight as 2 coats of paint.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a great sort of, certain people, they have one story which they tell. And that was his story. But then he told me about going to see Thin Lizzy at the Winning Post in Twickenham in the 70s, which was amazing. That's a sort of roadside, what Kev Carras from Real Lives would call an A-road pub.
Oh, yeah.
Near my house in Twickenham.
Yeah. How bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, that's another one of my celebrity connections following on from last week.
Yeah.
My first ever paid job when I left school was working 2 days rubbing down and repainting Scott Gorham of Thin Lizzy's house.
Wow. Where was that?
That's where?
Yeah.
Literally just around the corner from me.
Really?
Yeah, he lives on the road that leads to my road.
Wow. Nice guy?
I've never met him.
All right.
I was working for a bloke who my dad knew. He hasn't been here already. He's on the run.
Dear.
Yeah. He's a Glaswegian. Well, he was from Clydebank.
Right.
He's a bankie called Maurice Moriarty.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And he's great name for a painter.
Yeah.
Or a painter, a decorator.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's last I heard, he was on the run in like Thailand, away from the Australian authorities.
Good place to go.
Yeah. So hope he's all right. Shout out Morris if you're listening. He won't be.
Very unlikely.
Yeah.
What I can say is fairly unlikely he'll be listening.
He went to Glastonbury, right?
Yeah.
And got off the train, and then saw that they had the sniffer dogs out.
Yeah.
So he did an about turn, got to the other platform, and just went home.
Right. There you go.
You can make assumptions as to why.
Yes.
But yeah, back to the point. Thursday night, it was pretty wonderful. It really was. It felt. Well, be honest, we didn't sell out the place. We never expected that we would. We never expect that we draw any crowd. Even at this point, after many years of playing gigs in and around London, we're always shitting ourselves that no one's going to turn up.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Well, it's just. I guess what's the term? Imposter complex or syndrome. Sorry.
Right. Okay.
That we both have.
Yeah. Feeling like a fraud.
Yeah. That there's no way that people are going to come out and pay to see us.
Yeah.
But bizarrely they do, and it was great. It really was. It was the room was near enough full. There's people on people's shoulders at some points.
Yeah.
There was taps off at some points, and there was, as we said, there was sing-alongs, like powerful sing-alongs, and yeah, we had a great intro. We had the speech from Independence Day.
Mankind.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know why I've done him Southern. He's not Southern.
Yeah,
Mankind.
It was just an incredible. It felt incredibly inspirational. There was goosebumps on everywhere.
That was amazing.
Yeah, there was. Despite none of us, well, I'm sure there may have been some Americans in the audience. Well, there was at least one, I know.
Really?
But it just felt. It did feel like it was the world's Independence Day that night.
Yeah.
It was perfect. It was it was a great time. It's so yeah, we can't really thank the people who came out enough, really.
Yeah.
It's my mum says to me, so yesterday she goes to me, "Did you know all those people were there?" And I was like, "No, it was like 300 and something of them."
She thinks she got 300 mates.
Yeah. And then she goes, "Were they all your fans then?" And I went, "Yeah, it was our gig." And she just can't get her head around that her son could I don't know, draw that sort of crowd, I suppose.
She thought it was just a party.
Yeah.
With all our mates.
Yeah.
In fairness, there was quite a lot of mates there.
Oh, of course, yeah. Really, can't lie. It was a good sort of...
the guest list was...
just shy of 100 people, I think.
Yeah. It was a long guest list. Cheap list, of course. You know, got to support the band.
Yeah.
We are your friends, but this is a business.
It is a business, so we're running a business.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of business, big shout to Max, one half of the Horny Men.
Yes.
But also works for our merchandise company. Managed to earn pretty much, way more money than we ever have for merchandise before.
It's nice when you've got someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, instead of a pair of idiots who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Which is us.
That's us. Brass and merch.
Yeah.
Sounds like a sort of,
like a hipster...
hipster brothel.
No, yeah, like a hipster brothel, yeah. Brass and merch.
on Hackney Road, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's like a sort of brothel trap house.
Yeah.
So you could buy your gear and have it away with a prozzer.
Yeah.
A prozzer. Yeah.
Sex worker.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You've been told.
Sorry, everyone. As our mate Charlie, who does our artwork, said the other week, he said, I do worry about you two doing our podcast because the more content that there is of you, the more likely you're going to get cancelled.
Yeah.
And when I say to that, bring it on.
You can't wait.
I cannot wait. I was hoping it would happen on Thursday night, but unfortunately it didn't. But oh well. But yeah, no, it was Thursday night was great.
You want to get cancelled live on stage?
Yeah,
like a Tommy Cooper style cancellation.
Yeah. Like I think cancellation is the millennial version of dying.
Yeah.
So I'd love to do that live.
So
on
is
stage.
it dying on the internet?
Well, it's dying culturally.
Yeah. Okay.
Socially.
Yeah.
But actually, it's not really at all, is it? Because as one of our favourite things of the moment, or just generally, the Robert Downey Jr. Mel Gibson hugging the cactus speech.
Hugging the cactus.
How that proves that there's coming back from the other side.
Yeah. Was Mel Gibson cancelled?
Yeah.
You think?
Oh, absolutely.
But wasn't that? I mean, I know he was cancelled, but you wouldn't have used that word back then.
Well, no.
He was disgraced.
Yeah, I mean, the term cancellation's only come around in the last 2-3 years, maybe.
Yeah, and it's a Netflix term, isn't it?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I assume it's to do with getting a show cancelled.
Yeah, which I think is quite revealing.
Quite revealing.
Well, it's interesting. If you look at the right side of politics, their language all comes from porn and video games.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all cucks.
Yeah.
Type into a porn search engine and you'll find out what that means.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Or don't. Just look it up.
Yeah,
it's probably a Wikipedia page. And they talk about noobs and things like that.
Yeah, it's just pathetic.
Which says a lot about where their politics coming from.
Yeah, geeks.
Like the other side.
They're like mum's basement dwellers, basically.
Yeah. It's guys with the headsets on, on the Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
And then the other side, I hasten to call them the left side, but the other side, their terminology seems to be taken from sort of TV and box set, Netflix culture.
Yeah.
Which I think is quite interesting. Because a lot of those shows are quite woke. The girls thing.
It's the BuzzFeed wing of politics. I
Yes,
suppose.
yeah.
It's
you are cancelled AF.
Yeah. And I suppose I mean, people have been getting cancelled for decades.
Yeah.
Since
records began.
Yeah, I mean, from the dawn of celebrity, cancellation came hand in hand with it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or did it, in fact? I mean, I don't know. I think maybe it didn't.
Yeah.
Because you can get, in Hollywood and until fairly recently, you could obviously get away with murder.
Yeah.
Literally.
Angus Deaton was an early cancellation in our lives.
Yeah.
He got cancelled like
that. Well, it's definitely it's a phenomenon from this millennium.
Yeah.
It's quite strange. Well, I mean, it's almost like bringing back sort of public hanging. It's definitely that kind of I don't know. People take great joy in watching people get cancelled.
Yeah,
and I do too. It's great. It is even though I do kind of completely disagree with the idea of I don't know, the court of public opinion, I suppose, on Twitter, I guess, and or a trial by Twitter. Yeah. I also do absolutely adore it.
You're like one of those blokes sort of in a medieval village hanging,
yeah,
and you're in the audience.
Yeah.
But you could also, next week, you'll be on the in the gallows.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
I'm like Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Sort of. I'm sick of seeing my people being taken and
cancelled.
Hung, drawn, and quartered.
Hung, drawn, and cancelled.
Hung, drawn, and cancelled. Yeah.
That's the name of the third album.
It really is. I can't wait for you all to hear that.
Yeah.
Then every listener will be cancelled too. Right. I've gone off the rails here. My voice is gone. Right, how long have we been recording? Enough.
We are now at 56 minutes.
That'll do.
56 minutes of gold.
That'll do. Right. So anyway, yeah. So I don't know if you've seen the content that's come out of Thursday night, but you should check it out if you haven't, because there's some great stuff, like a little clip of us doing our little nod to the Old Town Road. That might be a permanent fixture of our set now. Who knows? There's only one way to find out, and that's by coming to see us. We've got a couple of gigs coming up. Next one is we're doing Citadel Festival next Sunday. We're DJing it, the So Young stage. So if you want to come and listen to Little Nas X's EP, played twice back to back, come and watch us do that. And then the weekend after that, on Saturday the 19th, we are playing a new venue, I believe it is 26 Leek Street in Waterloo, for the Clapped Night Out party, presented by Clap Records, featuring us, Feet, Jade Marie, Hummer, and Cersei. Apologies if I've mispronounced that. And then after that, on the 20th, we are down in Bristol for So Young's Rough Trade all-dayer thing with Ladybird and Italia 90 and a load of others. So it's going to be a right old laugh. It's going to be good. We've got the zest for playing live again. I'd admit. I mean, I liked The Great Escape. That was a good weekend. But all the other gigs we've played in the last few months, for me, have been a bit, I don't know, to be honest, a bit of a chore. Like, I just haven't been mentally up for it, I guess.
Going through the motions.
Yeah. But Thursday night, I don't know, gave us a zest back. And it's we're back, baby. So yeah, please come and see us. You're guaranteed to have a good time. Anything to add, Ryan?
Hung, drawn, and cancelled.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on the subject.
Shall we try and write a song called Hung, Drawn, and Cancelled right this second?
What sort of vibe are we going for?
Just a sort of, I don't know, sort of loungy, Sinatra-y, I don't know.
Bit loungy, yeah?
Yeah.
We're going to give it a go.
Hung, drawn, and cancelled. Hung, drawn, and cancelled, baby. Don't go away. Yeah, I'll do. All right, tune in next week. See you later.